Hey, what's up? This is ChoseN, and this video is going to be going over in DLT. Hey, what's up? This is ChoseN, and this video is going to be going over the Shamrock Leak that has come through to the community. I'm going to be going over it in detail and decoding the message so that you know exactly what it says, and we're going to try to figure out exactly what this means for the character Shamrock. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, I am one of the people who does have Shamrock. I believe Shamrock was my second legendary I ever summoned. I got War Mother, and then Shamrock, and then I cried. No, I'm kidding, but yeah, I do have Shamrock. I've had him for a while. I've really only ever used him in Faction Wars. I know some people have found a way to get some value out of him, but he has been one that has really been needing some reworking or buffing in terms of the opinions of many players out there. So first of all, let's go ahead and pull up Shamrock, because that's who the leak kind of revolves around here. Alright, so the aesthetics of Shamrock are amazing. He looks very cool. He's got the leaking, like, overflowing beer, and the theme of the, you know, the clovers and the St. Patrick's Day, and I like the aesthetics of him. And a 111 base speed is actually one of the highest in the game. Venus has 112, Arbiter has 110. You know, there's a couple that float around that area of the 110 to 112, but yeah, the base speed is amazing. The A1, the luck swap, is really not that bad of an ability. It hits twice with a 60% chance of moving. Gosh. Okay, it's like 6 a.m. I just rolled out of bed like 3 minutes ago and got on camera. I gotta work today at 8 o'clock. So I woke up at like 6 a.m. I saw this leak. I'm like, I gotta jump on the computer right away and get a video out. So I apologize. I'm loopy, barely awake, but trying to get this done before work here. But yeah, anyway, luck swap is pretty decent. 60% chance of removing one random buff from the target. That's really not that bad. That's a multi-hit A1 that has buff utility and removal, so that's pretty okay. Lucky Charms is kind of the crazy ability here. Obviously, a St. Patrick's Day character is going to be revolving around luck or some sort of fortune, and that's what they kind of tried to theme it as. So place a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's going to be guaranteed. Has a 50% chance of placing a 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also a 25% chance of placing a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns if the increased crit rate buff is placed, and then has a 5% chance of placing a block debuff buff on all allies for 2 turns if the continuous heal buff is placed. So this all kind of snowballs and feeds on one another. It could just be increased defense. Meh, but then it can snowball into other stuff like crit rate, continuous heal, block debuffs, and it all kind of has a bunch of fortune tied in to, like, you know, you're lucky whether it procs or not. Then we've got Uncatchable, places a 30% decreased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, decreases the turn meter of all allies by 15%, has a 10% chance of decreasing the turn meter of all enemies by a further 15%. So again, a little bit more RNG there. And then we've got an aura that increases ally accuracy in all battles by 70. Okay, so now that we've gone over the kit, let's go over the leak here. So this is the leak that came through. It's a bunch of messages going really fast, so you can't really tell what it is. You'd have to sit here and stare at this for like an hour to be able to catch enough words to know what's really going on. But I did the work for you guys, so I'm gonna read you every single message. Let me see here. All right, let me actually clip this here. All right, so this is the actual decoding, or not decoding, but if you slow it down, this is what all of them say. And it's very weird. So you will lose your hat. That's one of the sayings. You will be able to randomly swap the skills between enemy champions. You will get a new aura skill. Luck swap will be slightly buffed. Uncatchable will be completely removed from the skill set. Uncatchable will increase ally turn meter. Luck swap will be completely reworked. Using Lucky Charms 444 times will give you 100% chance of summoning Shamrock. So The first thing that kind of jumps out to me is maybe this is kind of like a need to figure out which ones are false and which ones are true type thing, because some of these don't make sense. Like, they can't both be true. Like, Uncatchable will be completely removed from the skill set, but also Uncatchable will increase ally turn meter. Like, I don't think both of those can be true. If you remove the ability, then it's not going to be there to be cast to increase ally turn meter. So I think it's our job to kind of go through and figure out which ones are true or false. I guess that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. It's 6:15 in the morning or whatever, and I'm trying to kind of figure out what's going on here. But I'm gonna say you will lose your hat is not true. I think they're gonna keep the aesthetics and the hat on Shamrock. So anyway, you will be able to randomly swap the skills between enemy champions. That one could be true, because we see on the bottom it says using Lucky Charms 444 times will give you a 100% chance of summoning Shamrock. Now, I guess that would mean if someone else is using Shamrock and that person swaps skills with you, now all of a sudden you can use the Lucky Charms ability of their Shamrock. And if you do that 444 times, now the next shard you pull gives you Shamrock or something. Maybe I could see that making sense if you're able to randomly swap skills between enemy champions. Then you will get a new skill aura. I think that's true. They will probably give him a different aura. Obviously I would just be guessing if I tried to speculate what that would be, but I think that one's probably true. The 70 accuracy in all battles isn't like super used, but it's a decent aura. And then Lucky Swap will be slightly buffed. That one, see, there's also one that says Luck Swap will be completely reworked. I guess those could both be true. It could both be completely reworked and slightly buffed. How would I change it? I mean, I don't know. I think this is okay. Maybe attack randomly 3 times. That would be pretty cool. Or attack 2 random enemies. I think attack 3 times at random, or attack 2 times at random, and then keeping the chance of removing a random buff from each target would be kind of cool. That would be a slight buff, but I don't think that would constitute as being a complete rework. So I'm probably off there. It's probably going to change a little bit more significantly than that. Uncatchable will be completely removed from the skill set. I doubt that's true. That's probably one that's false. Uncatchable will increase ally turn meter. So that is this ability here on a 4-turn cooldown. I think that's true. That sounds realistic. Will increase ally. So it'll be all of this stuff, plus it will increase the turn meter of all allies by 15% or 30% or something. And then we went over the other ones here. Luck Swap will be completely reworked, and the using Lucky Charms one. So yeah, very, very weird leak and thing here, and I'm really trying to guess here. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think, but I think it's going to be a case where some of the stuff is wrong, some of the stuff is accurate, and it's kind of like our job as a community to kind of discern the message and figure out exactly what's going to come through and what isn't. So you know, and we're coming up in that point of year where St. Patrick's Day is coming up. So I wonder if this is going to kind of lead into some buffs for Shamrock to hype up the Shamrock Fusion for St. Patrick's Day, because St. Patrick's Day is within like 2 months now. So they might buff him a little bit, have that come through in the next, week or two, and then get everybody hyped like, oh, Shamrock's pretty good now, I wish I had him, and then start teasing a Shamrock Fusion. So that I could see that order of operations kind of happening here. And yeah, if any of you are curious, before I end the video, I will show you the thing one more time here. But yeah, this was the this was what came through. And yeah, that I gave you all the messages on the little text I had on the screen before. So yeah, that's gonna kind of do it. I just wanted to crank this out really quick because I saw this come through and I was like, hey, I happened to wake up a little bit early. I need to go ahead and sit down and slow this down and get this out to the community, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be curious what this says without wanting to stare at this for, you know, an hour and a half to try and figure out what it says. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments on exactly what this message means, and if you think I'm accurate or way off or whatever. But it's definitely cool. I like that Plarium is doing stuff like this to kind of tease things to the community. This makes it fun where we can all kind of dive in theory craft and have something to kind of, you know, try to decode a hidden message on and stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think all of it means. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.